Secretary of AIIEA, Comrade Srikanth Mishra, our senior leader of the AIIEA and editor of your excellent magazine Insurance Worker, Comrade Amanullah Khan, our acting Zonal General Secretary, Comrade Gopinath, all the other fighting and respected leaders of the dais, and my dear friends and comrades, sisters and brothers. Right at the outset, I would like to congratulate all of you, mainly for two reasons. First, I know that 2025 is the platinum jubilee of the All India Insurance Employees Association. I greet you on this platinum jubilee occasion because this is not an ordinary thing. I was talking to Amanullah Khanji and he said, even before the nationalization of LIC in 1956, our earlier leaders, Saroj Chowdhury, Sunil Maitra, all of them and so many others also, N.M. Sundaram, many people worked to get all the various unions of more than 200 companies together, and then they formed the All India Insurance Employees Association even before nationalization in 1951. And today, I am very proud that the AIIEA is one of the strongest unions of middle class employees in the country, and your South Zone, many comrades told me that it is one of the strongest zones among all the AIIEA zones in the country. So this is one very important reason for congratulating all of you. The second, our All India General Secretary told me just now, Comrade Srikanth Mishra ji, that very recently, all over the country, you have conducted a very, very crucial campaign for solidarity with Cuba and all over the country, in spite of all your other work, all your other obligations, all your other commitments, all over the country, the All India Insurance Employees Association has collected a massive amount of 40 lakhs for the Cuba Solidarity Fund. This is much more important than what it looks at first sight. Because today, in the trade union situation of India, you have several unions who do not look beyond their own pay rise, who do not look beyond their own retrenchment issues. I am not saying these issues are not important. Certainly they are very important, and on these issues also, the AIIEA is doing excellent work, there is no doubt about it. But there is something called social commitment. There is something called social commitment. We are in a better situation, although we are facing many problems, we are in a much better situation than many of our other brothers and sisters in the working class movement, our brothers and sisters in the peasantry, our brothers and sisters in the the various other socially oppressed sections of society. And that is the realization. That is the social commitment that you have shown. For the Cuba Solidarity Fund, I am happy to inform you that within 4 days, 13th of August, a very important day, the main architect of the Cuban Revolution, Comrade Fidel Castro, his birth centenary year begins on 13th of August 2025. And we know how Cuba has fought against American imperialism. Up to now, many of us were not so much aware, but very much thanks to Mr. Donald Trump, now people all over the country are aware what America is like. Because of the 50% tariff that he has imposed on India, which is going to very adversely affect Indian agriculture, Indian industry, and the farmers and the workers of India. That means crores and crores of people are going to be affected as a result of this imperialist thing. We know what Cuba is facing. Cuba has faced it. We are facing it last 1 or 2 months. Threats. Cuba has been facing it ever since its revolution in 1959. And where is Cuba? India is thousands of miles away from the USA. Cuba is only 90 miles away from the USA. But still they cannot do anything. That is the important thing that we should understand. So therefore, these are the 2 things. For this, you have collected 40 lakhs, and this is something which is very important. Comrades and friends, your conference is beginning on a very historic date. Today is the 9th of August. Yesterday, historically, it was on the 8th of August in the evening, in the August Kranti Maidan in Mumbai, 1942, when Mahatma Gandhi gave this call to the British, and that call was revolutionary in that context. He said, quit India. To the British, the British imperialism, Mahatma Gandhi gave this call. Immediately on the 8th of August night, all the Congress leaders, many other revolutionary leaders, including Gandhi himself, they were arrested by the British government. And today, 9th August 1942, the Quit India movement began. Thousands of people lost their lives. They were killed by the British. All over the country, in every state, including Tamil Nadu, Salem, where we are having this conference, including Kerala, including Puducherry. These are the 3 states which are covered in the South Zone. All over the country, they were martyrs in this Quit India movement. And this is the day on which we are beginning your South Zone AIIBA conference. It is very, very significant. Just as Mahatma Gandhi gave a call to the British to quit India, today when the government of India is trying to open up the entire insurance sector 100% to foreign direct investment. That means all the multinational companies, huge ones, Indian companies have no comparison with the multinational companies that are there. you are opening up the insurance sector to 100% FDI for all the people from America, big companies from the imperialist world to come and loot your country in the insurance sector. Although, as I am going to come to very shortly, the LIC, with the help of all the insurance employees, has done excellent work over the last 2 years. That is why 9th August is a very important day on which your conference is beginning, the Quit India anniversary. And this is what we have to understand. 9th August is important for another reason, that some of you may not be so much aware, and that is 9th August is supposed to be the World Indigenous Peoples Day. That means in India, we call it the World Tribal Day, Adivasi Day. The tribals of India. They are the indigenous people of India. So that is the day, that's also today on 9th August. The tribals, along with, as you know, the Dalits, the backward classes, they have been the targets of social oppression for thousands of years. In different ways. Yesterday, let me tell you, I had gone to a village close by, in Dharmapuri district, very close to your center. And I visited one district, one village. All of you know about that village. A very, very village of glorious struggle. The name of the village where I went yesterday is called Vachati village in Dharmapuri district. And all of you know, in 20th of June 1992, terrible atrocities took place in that village. Fully tribal village. Fully tribal. Forest officials, police officials, revenue officials, all of them, more than 200 men, beat up hundreds of tribals, gang raped 18 women, and created havoc, killed all their cattle, broke up their houses. Terrible kind of massacre in Tamil Nadu, which will always live in infamy. But there, the people of that village fought. They fought. Constantly they fought for years together. 269 police officials, forest officials, revenue officials were convicted by the court. The Chennai High Court upheld their conviction, threw them into jails, and those 18 women who were gang raped, they were given compensation of 10 lakh rupees each as a result of that big struggle. This High Court verdict came only 2 years ago in 2023. Why was this atrocity done? Because they were tribals. Why did the Kilmen massacre happen in Tamil Nadu? Because they were Dalits. You see, this is the situation, the whole question of social justice. That's also linked with the 9th of August, with the World Tribal Day, and that is why also I just wanted to refer to that. Now, as was mentioned in the welcome address, all of you are conducting an alliance struggle. Insurance employees of India, insurance agents of India, employees of the general insurance companies, 4 public sector general insurance companies, about which our demand is that all those 4 companies into one company like LIC. All this sector is now under attack. Bank employees are under attack. And all this is being done in spite of the fact that the Life Insurance Corporation of India is one of the best performing institutions in the country. All of you must be aware that in a recent survey, the LIC was adjudged as the third strongest insurance brand in the entire world. Third strongest insurance brand in the whole world. This is not a joke. Who is responsible for this? A large part of the credit must go to all of you, must go to all the insurance employees, must go to all the insurance agents, LIC agents, who are also doing work. And it must go to the fact that because of our struggle, in spite of several governments wanting to disinvest the LIC, we have still succeeded in maintaining the public sector nature of the LIC. Had that not been maintained, LIC would not have become the third strongest insurance brand in the world today. And we have seen this year, 25-26, first 3 months, latest figures, what is the net profit of LIC? 10,987 crores. Only 3 months, May, April, May, June 2025. This is 5% more than the same 3-month period last year. Our net premium that we have got in these last 3 months again rose by 5% to 1.19 lakh crore rupees. This is what the LIC is about. Your 24-25, last year's profile. You know all these things, but I am just saying because I am going to come to the next point, which is important. Total income of LIC, 8,81,434 crores. Total income. Total life fund, 47,84,942 crores. And total assets, 56,22,930 crore rupees. These are the figures. How much does the LIC give the government of India as dividend? Last year, we have given massive dividend, 7,324 crore rupees. And after this IPO started, after the market listing in May 2022, we have given 26 rupees 50 paise per share, and the maximum of that per share has gone to the government of India. That is another further dividend. More than that 7,324 crores. And in spite of this, today we have a situation where I was shocked to see these figures. On 31st March 95, we had all over the country 1,21,410 employees in the LIC. 1,21,410 total employees. 95, I'm talking about 1995. How many enforced policies were there? Number of enforced policies in 95 was 6.55 crore. Less than 7 crore. And today, at the end of 2024, how many policies are there in force all over the country? LIC policies, 26.85 crores. From 6.55 crores to 26.85 crores. This is the fantastic number of policies as a result of your efforts. And now what is the staff? From 1,21,410, although the number of policies have grown nearly 5 times, the staff has come from 1,21,000 to 98,661. Shocking. Shocking. One cannot believe this. And that is exactly the point. How are you treating LIC? And with all this, so many new attacks. I talked about FDI 100%. For the first time 2 years ago, they have started privatizing of LIC. 3.5% of the shares already sold. This year, the government is planning to sell another 6.5% shares. That will make it 10%. You know, there is a saying, one never kills the goose that lays the golden egg. Have you heard this? Our grandmother used to tell us, you never kill the goose because there were some very greedy people. So, they used to say, when we were children, I'm talking about, you also must have heard this story. There used to be a goose there, they used to say. Every day it used to lay an egg of gold. So, one very greedy man came. Very good. Every day you are getting gold egg. Better if you kill the goose. Then you will get all the golden eggs at one time. This is what the government of India is doing. Slowly, killing the goose that is laying the golden egg. I think this is nothing but surrendering to foreign capital, surrendering to Indian corporates. This is the real thing that is happening. And very sorry to say, this is not happening only for LIC. This is happening for GIC. This is happening to banks. It is happening to mining. It is happening to oil, steel, all other sectors. It is happening to education, privatization. It is happening to health services. It is happening even now to land, electricity. You must have heard about smart meters being put. And once you put smart meters, your bills are increasing tremendously, 4 times electricity bill. Privatization. Earlier, the government used to look after electricity. Today, the Adanis, and all the other companies are now in the field of electricity, they are in the field of oil, they are in the field of energy, they are also in the field of water, irrigation, everything. So this entire country is being sold. We talked about British quit India. Today, those who rule India are actually inviting not just the British, but all the looters that will come and loot us. Is this Desh Bhakti? They talk about Desh Bhakti. Dedication to the country. We say there is no question of Desh Bhakti here. You are actually surrendering the country to the looters of India. And that is what all of us, not only LIC, employees, the entire country has to come together to stop it. And that is what we partly did on the 9th of July 2025, our All India strike, which LIC, IEA completely took part in that. 100% strike we had all over the country on the 9th of July. More than 25 crore workers struck work all over the country on the 9th of July. Crores of farmers, led by the Sanyukta Kisan Morcha, the All India Kisan Sabha, which I represent, all over the country, crores of farmers closed down the rural areas, closed down roads, closed down highways for that one day to show their solidarity with the working class of India. And this is today the need of the hour. The kind of things that are happening. Today you know, very recently, the Oxfam India came out with a set of figures. The report was called, it's a global inequality report, out of which the India Inequality Report. Oxfam is an international organization. They came out with a report which is available on the net also, where the title of the report was Survival of the Richest. Title of the report, Survival of the Richest. What does that remind you of? There used to be a phrase, survival of the fittest. Evolution theory. Who was the father of the evolution theory? A very great scientist called Charles Darwin. Even he is now being attacked by some people who are there in the leadership of India. He wrote a whole thesis, survival of the fittest, the whole theory of evolution, etc. This Oxfam report is called Survival Not of the Fittest or the Richest. And what does it say? 1% of the richest Indians are owning 40% of the wealth of India. 1% are owning 40% of the wealth of India. The top 10% richest people are owning 77% of the wealth of India. And the bottom 50%, half of India, that is owning only 3% of the wealth of our country. only 3%. These are the figures of an international organization. The World Hunger Index, that has come out every year, it comes out with figures. In 2024, they said a list of 125 hungry countries in the world they listed. And India is number 111 in the list of 125 hungry countries in the world. The most hungry is 125. Least hungry is number 1. India is 111th on that list. That means only 14 countries are more hungry than India, but they are very, very small countries. A few lakh population. India has more than 140 crore population, and we are 111th hungriest country in the world. This is the real picture of India. And we know this. Even from our day-to-day thing we can make out in our cities. In the rural areas, people like us who move there, we can see it a little more closely than what some of you may be able to see. Although many of you, I know, basically you are also hail from the villages. And therefore you have an idea. But in the villages, if you go, you will see the real situation of the country today. And that is the situation where today more than 4 lakh farmers in the last few years, they have committed suicide due to indebtedness. They are in debt, they cannot pay off. And therefore, they commit suicide. All over the country it is there. And out of that, these suicide farms, imagine you have nothing to fall back on, and that is the state of large parts of the country. On top of all this, as you know, they put in those 3 farm laws against which there was a 1-year-old struggle on the borders of Delhi. I am very grateful to the All India Insurance Employees Association. I had said it in Bangalore also when I went for the South Central Zone Conference. I again say it here, that 1-year struggle of the farmers of India, I would very, very humbly thank the All India Insurance Employees Association for giving lakhs of rupees for this farmer struggle in solidarity. You stood by your farmer brothers and sisters. We'll never forget this. Bank employees did it, insurance employees did it, many other parts of the working class, they stood by us, and that is exactly what we believe in. Worker-peasant unity is the need of the hour. Both are being exploited. Both are being looted by the corporate lobby, by the landlord lobby, by the imperialists, by Donald Trump and all his other things. I was surprised when Donald Trump says that I am going to levy 25% more tariff on India because India is buying oil from Russia. And so India is indirectly helping in the war against Ukraine and helping to kill people in Ukraine, which Russia is doing. Who is saying this? Donald Trump. He has the shamelessness to say it. Why am I saying this? all throughout, every single American president and Donald Trump most of all. What is he doing in Gaza? What is he doing in Palestine? Who is helping Israel? Continuous full backing of the United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, all these imperialist countries standing by Israel and conducting a genocide of the innocent people of Gaza. They are fighting with rockets, Israel, with the most advanced equipment. They are now starving the children of Gaza, not allowing food to go. A person who is doing that is blaming India for buying oil from Russia and therefore helping the war of Russia against Ukraine. Height, absolute height. And unfortunately, last 3-4 months, these threats against India of tariff, Donald Trump has been given. On the Pahalgam terrorist attack against Indians, 26 people, innocent people were killed. We condemn. We are against terrorism of every kind, regarding of whichever religion is involved. But after that, there is, after 2-3 days, there is a ceasefire. Ceasefire is not announced by Mr. Narendra Modi. Ceasefire is not announced by the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. It is announced by who? India-Pakistan ceasefire is announced by Donald Trump, President of USA. And he said, I was the one who got this ceasefire. And then he said next day in a press conference, how did I do it? I threatened them with finance and trade. Openly he said in a press conference in Washington. And all this time, I am shocked. Everybody must be shocked actually. What happens, sometimes our sensitivities get dead. But last 3 months this tamasha is going on. Mr. Narendra Modi opened his mouth yesterday for the first time. Yesterday for the first time. Up to now, on this tariff business, Pahalgam thing business, not one word by the Prime Minister of India, by any other minister in the BJP government. And yesterday, when it became too much, then he said that also, he doesn't have the guts to name Donald Trump. Still, no guts. But he said, I will stand with the farmers of India, whatever happens. I will have to pay a very heavy personal price, but I am prepared to pay it. What are you going to stand with farmers of India? 750 farmers were martyred in that 1 year struggle in Delhi. Your minister, he put cars on Lakhimpur Kheri. 4 farmers and a journalist were killed under the car of your minister. You did not even throw out that minister from your cabinet. What the hell are you talking about Indian farmers? What the hell are you talking about Indian workers? You are privatizing LIC, you are privatizing banks, you are privatizing everything. And now, President has given me 45 minutes, only 5-7 minutes remaining. So in that, you see one very important thing that we should understand. Only 2 points I want to say. all these battles of ours. Yes, we will continue fighting. As I said earlier, the All India Insurance Employees Association, we are really very proud that you are fighting your battles, certainly. But you are not only fighting your battles, you are fighting battles on behalf of the country also. And that is what a real trade union must do. Working class is supposed to be the leader of all the classes in the country. That is the real nature of the working class. Because only the working class has that kind of an outlook. It is fighting against exploitation. It is fighting against oppression. So therefore, these 3 points only very, very briefly I want to say. Number one, the whole question of social justice. Today, we are seeing nothing else but the Manusmriti in action. Please mark my words. The Manusmriti in action. 2,000-year-old text in which all the backward castes, especially Dalits, have no place. Women have no place in society. This is what the Manusmriti talks about. And the rulers today, still they swear by the Manusmriti. Their leaders have come openly and glorifying the Manusmriti. And today the kind of atrocities going on against the Dalits, backward class, against women, not a single day goes without reading a paper where there is no news of some atrocities on women somewhere in the country or not. Not a single day goes. And I tell you this. That is why this whole social reform movement, Periyar Ramaswamy Nayak, Narayan Guru, Mahatma Phule, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Rajaram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Sant Kabir, Sant Ravidas, all these names all over the country. Different times, they lived at different times. But all of them fought against both caste oppression and gender oppression. And here I would like to say, with some apology to the men over here, our women, they work much harder than men, and the women here work much more sincerely than men. There is no doubt about this. There is no doubt about this. We see it in agriculture. I mean the Kisan Sabha. In agriculture, 70% of the work in farming, all scientific studies have shown, 70% of the work in farming is done by women. Men do 30%. All the housework mostly women do. Looking after cattle, women do. Raising children, mostly women do. Question arises, what do men do? But in spite of this, the land, the farming land is in whose name? In most cases, in the land of the men, in the name of the men. This is the injustice of the Manusmriti. You understand? This you know, all of you. Very few examples where there are joint pattas of land, both husband and wife. So this is the whole question of social justice, which the ruling classes are now attacking with a vengeance. What they want actually is Brahmanism. And this is Brahmanism means Manusmriti. That's what the ruling circles they want. This is what we have to understand. Second, to divide. If they have to get all these things, Ambani, Adani, Tata, Birla, all these things they want to get forward. If all the people come to know what is happening, 1% owning 40% of wealth, below 50% owning only 3% of wealth, there is going to be a rebellion. How to stop a rebellion? Divide people on the basis of caste. Divide people on the basis of religion. And that is what is going on today. A large extent is being done. Hindu versus Muslim. Hindu versus Christian. Who had done this in India before? Openly, communal riots, bomb blasts. I talked just now about terrorism. Just now, in Malegaon, Maharashtra, a case came where 6 people were killed. At that blast, 2008. 6 people were killed, many were injured. Bomb blast. Mr. Hemant Karkare, a very great martyr, he was head of the anti-terrorism group in Maharashtra at that time. He had gone to the extent, he was killed in that 26th November attack by the terrorists. This Ajmal Kasab and all these people, that attack in Mumbai. And in that, Pragya Singh Thakur, Colonel Prasad Purohit, army officer, others, they were all known to be involved. All those things they had uncovered. Then he was killed. New people came to the top in the anti-terrorism unit. The whole case was diluted, and that day, just a few days ago, 6 of those were all let off scot-free. Nobody is responsible for the Malegaon blast. Pragya Singh Thakur, who was a BJP MP from Bhopal last time, has been let off the hook. Colonel Prasad Purohit let off the hook. So terrorism, Hindu terrorism is allowed. The killing of Dr. Narendra Dabholkar is allowed. The killing of Comrade Govind Pansare is allowed. The killing of Professor M.M. Kalburgi is allowed. The killing of a woman journalist, Gauri Lankesh from Bangalore, that is allowed. All 4 are Hindus, both Hindus. That is allowed. Nothing happens to the culprits. The whole question of religion and using religion, this has happened once before in India, and that was in the time of the British. When they again wanted to divide India, they ruled for 200 years. Plassey, War of Plassey 1757, Independence 1947, 190 years, slowly they went. What slogan was there? Divide and rule. We have all learnt it in our school books, in our college, in our histories. Divide and rule. That's what they did. and at the end they succeeded. India and Pakistan were divided on the basis of religion. Today, even now, that battle goes on. So this divide and rule policy of the rulers today, this we have to be very, very careful. This is one thing which I would like to appeal to all. The third and the last thing, the whole question of the defense of democracy. What did you see the day before yesterday? Charges were made. Today the Hindu, I have seen, complete full-length editorial. The entire election commission is in the dock. Entire election commission. Charges have been made that there is a collusion between the election commission and the ruling party at the center. Proofs have been given. And no response from the election commission so far. Now, people from the press, India Today, a very reputed magazine, they have gone and found out, yes, same correct. Democracy itself is in danger. Please mind this. The whole constitution of India is today in danger. We give all kinds of reasons why somebody won, why somebody lost. But this is the most evident. In my state, Maharashtra, I will tell you, there was a 5-month difference between the Lok Sabha election and the State Assembly Vidhan Sabha election. 2024, April, May, Lok Sabha, in November, Vidhan Sabha. What were the results? I am talking about my own state. 31 out of 48 seats in the Lok Sabha, 31 out of 48 were won by the India bloc. 31 out of 48, not an easy thing for one. And within 5 months, the number of voters which were not enrolled in the previous 5 years, many more voters were suddenly enrolled in only 5 months. Only 5 months. Tremendous voters between the Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha. And in the Vidhan Sabha, out of 288 seats, the NDA, BJP, won 235 seats. Can you imagine? Out of 288, 235. Lok Sabha, out of 48, 31 to the opposition. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Same thing happened in so many other states. So therefore, this is something that all of us, we may be of different points of view. I can understand that, I respect it. In the AIIA, it's a very broad organization. Yes, we all can have our own political views. We should have, certainly. But on certain things, I think we can come to a consensus. Number one, defense of the Constitution of India, defense of democracy, defense of secularism, defense of federalism, defense of social justice, regardless of caste and gender, and defense of sovereignty, which is connected very directly with the problem that LIC employees are facing. These are all very important things that we must learn, and we should really think whether the time has not come to search for a radical alternative. That is something that we require to think about much deeply. Because we have seen the earlier governments also. It is not as if only this government has started the assault on LIC. Earlier ones have also done it. So therefore we have to think carefully. How exactly should be the way forward? We have to think with a cool head and think of radical alternatives. I'll end only with a very, very great martyr who is actually revered by the whole country. His name all of you know, Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh was not a martyr only of Punjab. He was a martyr of the whole of India, like many others. He is even revered in Pakistan, for your information. Even there. And he had said, just 2 months before going to the gallows, on the 23rd of March 1931, he has written, it's there in his handwriting, his last testament, where he said, I'm just paraphrasing in different words, he's saying that by throwing out the white Englishmen and replacing them with black Englishmen, our problems are not going to be solved. His actual words also I'll tell you. If you replace Lord Irwin was the viceroy at that time, who ordered that they should be hanged. If you replace Lord Irwin with Sir Purushottam Das Thakur Das as the ruler of India, the situation in India will never change. He said, we have to have a new way. We have to have a government of the workers and the peasants. We have to have a new path, and that path cannot be the path of capitalism, cannot be the path of feudalism, it has to be the path of socialism. That is the message that Bhagat Singh conveyed to the youth of India, to the people of India, which is still relevant so many years after his martyrdom. With these words, I inaugurate this All India Insurance Employees South Zone Conference. Thank you all. Long live Revolution.
So thank you on behalf of all of you. I would like to Sir Dr. Dhawale. Definitely the 3 days since now this conference will discuss